and drinking.
Welcome back. All right, so day 4 is in the books, so we're going to talk about day 4. There were some experiences that we had yesterday. First off, don't go to Ross. The lineup at Ross is ridiculous.
So
I
stupid.
accidentally stepped on the side of her sandals yesterday, which broke one, which meant we had to get her new sandals. The Miracle Mile Mall doesn't have traditional sandals. If you like Crocs,
Sandals, I don't wear Crocs, flip-flops, or
slip-ons.
slides.
Yeah.
Especially when you're walking around all day. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it was so Miracle Mile Mall doesn't have any of that unless, I mean, you might be able to get something at the Crystals, but it's going to be really expensive.
You might not.
The Crystal shops are very
expensive.
expensive, so we don't even go into those stores.
No.
But yeah,
No.
so we ended up going into Ross. The lineup had to be 45 minutes.
It was so long.
We had to be in lineup for 45 minutes.
It was
I did.
so
I will say though,
ridiculous.
shout out to the security guy who, thanks for coming in.
Oh, did you hear him after a while started saying a couple other stores?
He started telling people to go to Target
Yeah,
or
it was funny.
Walgreens.
Yeah.
Yeah. People would come in, they'd look at the lineup, and then they'd just turn around and walk right back out. So it'd be like, thanks
If
for...
I didn't need sandals.
Welcome to Ross. Thanks for visiting. Welcome to Ross. Just passing through, huh? Yeah, it was very entertaining. He actually wasn't there when we left. I was going to tell him.
Notice that.
I was going to tell him on
a
our route. I was going to tell him he was the highlight of our trip through Ross. But I mean, you get really good deals. Like we found, Yvonne uses the sugar-free syrups for her drinks. I've been paying $12 to $15 Canadian per bottle for the ones I get through Amazon.
Mind you, they last for months.
But down here they're $4 each, $3.99, and they have flavors that I can't get on the Canadian Amazon. So that was one of the it didn't make it worthwhile, but it was close.
I
It was
did
something.
get something for my feet though. So.
It was something, and you got shoes as well as sandals, so you're all set. I only have one pair of shoes myself, so fingers crossed that everything works out well with my shoes. I definitely packed light. I figured I'd be taking a lot home, but I'm not. Really. I really haven't bought that much. I bought this hat. I think that's about it. I haven't bought any t-shirts.
Yeah, you have. You have one.
Which t-shirt did I buy?
The trophy husband one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a trophy husband. That's right, yeah.
We bought Malachi a shirt.
Right.
And we got the
And then we got all
water.
the bath stuff for
bath stuff
Adelaide.
and sparkly hair stuff.
Yeah. I won't be using the sparkly hair stuff. I really don't need it. So, and then, we've had good experiences with Uber. Last night,
We had worst Uber driver we have ever had.
we were going to Penn and Teller, and the Uber driver kept going the wrong way.
First off, it took her a long time to get to us. Long time. You know how it shows the map? And then it's like, wait, she missed the driveway for the hotel. Like to pull up to the pickup. And now she's over there and she has to do a U-turn. Nope, she's not doing a U-turn there. She's doing it somewhere else.
away.
And then it says what did it say? She was like 100 meters away.
Yeah.
Like, where is
And then
she then?
she drove by the Uber pickup spot. So we were right where Uber is supposed to pick people up.
And then she says, I'm here. We're standing right by
Where?
the Uber pickup sign.
And she was
From the Fedora, where are you?
She was where people go
Park.
to
have the valet parking
Yeah.
for the parkade.
Yeah.
And so
We
we
got
finally
stuck.
found her. And then she couldn't get out because she was in the valet parking area.
Yeah.
So we were there
Yeah.
forever while she did a 20-point turn to get
Yeah.
out of there
Yeah.
in the one-way area. So that was super fun.
And then she went the wrong way.
And then
The
going there,
the Rio, I can see it, and the Rio to get there from here is two roads.
building.
There's 2 turns, 2 roads, and
She went the opposite direction.
she went the other way.
We
And it
ended
was
up in like this seedy looking alley.
the red and blue building. I think that's where we're supposed to be going. But okay, and of course this is for Penn and Teller. So all I could think in my head was, I am not meant to see Penn and Teller. Penn and Teller have paid this person to make sure I don't get there. We're going to get dropped off. It's going to be in an alley somewhere, and there's going to be somebody there who says, there's going to be somebody there who says, I understand you're going to the Penn and Teller show. They do not want you there. So it was
so ridiculous. So where the
bonkers.
Uber tells us it only takes 2 minutes to get there, we were supposed to get there with 40 minutes to spare. We got there with less than 15.
Yeah. And I had never been in the
So
Rio.
ridiculous.
And with buildings here in Las Vegas, you never know. I mean, some of them, the theaters are really easy to find. Some of them, they're not.
Not
like
so much.
Harrah's, when we went in for Tape Face that time, we were in there for a while looking around. And so that's the trick. Is all I could think was as she dropped us off was, we're not going to get in there in time. Did they close the doors? What do they do? Like, I was terrified. So we did get in. We did get to see Penn and Teller. It was entertaining. It was a good show. The one thing about seeing magic live as opposed to on TV, it is easier to see live what they're doing.
Yes.
And what the trick is.
We could not tell what they were doing for everything at all.
No.
There were some that were just like, what are they doing?
No.
There were some that I could definitely see how
The
they
egg,
did it.
the egg
was really
trick
well.
was really well done.
That was very well.
But what's nice too with Penn and Teller, they don't go really showy. There wasn't like a bunch of fire and all these pyro stuff.
They only did one with like sparklers.
And then their final trick was to make an elephant disappear. Now, the elephant disappearing is the episode of Chris Angel where I said, F this S word. I believe I said that out loud. I said, I am not watching this guy anymore. This episode is false. Chris Angel, there's a lot of camera tricks. There's a lot of stuff he does like, I'm going to walk on water and it's actually real. And look, there's nothing under the water that's helping. How did I do this? No, you cannot defy the laws of physics, okay? The only way you walk on water without something underneath the water keeping you up, whether it's rocks or whatever, is if it's frozen.
Or as if you're Jesus.
You're on an ice rink. So there's the only way you can do it. Like, so that episode, I was done. Where he makes the elephant disappear, I was like, I'm done. Like, you're supposed to be impressed, like, wow, he made an elephant disappear, and there's concrete, and nothing could, and no. That's not how elephants work either. An elephant at least would be saying out loud, pardon? Like, it just, whatever you have to do, like, you can't fold it up and put it in a suitcase. Anyways, so what they did was they had an animatronic cow that they had stuck ears on and a trunk.
It was like a dryer hose.
What was it? They called it a pygmy.
A pygmy dwarf spotted
elephant, and it's endangered. It's the only one of its kind, and it was really funny. And
it was very funny.
And they did a couple of times talk about camera tricks you see on TV, and just things about how magic's done on TV. And I said to her, they're talking about Chris Angel.
That has
Now,
to be really
I'm sure
frustrating
there's
for
a David
magicians.
Copperfield side to it too, because there's stuff that Copperfield's done on TV that I've said, I don't think he actually made the Statue of Liberty disappear.
He's great though.
But David Copperfield is a legend.
Copperfield's
He's
great,
fantastic.
yes.
So if anybody can make the Statue of Liberty disappear, to be him.
Yes, agreed.
But yeah, the Chris Angel is one that we've been in Vegas 4 times, and anytime anybody says, "Okay, can you want tickets for Chris Angel?" Her and I are answers the same. No, absolutely no. No. But yeah, it's a good show that Penn and Teller put on. It's entertaining. It's very relaxed. It's very old Vegas feel, with the piano playing at the start, and then there's some piano playing during, and it just feels like the way Vegas was always classically portrayed, and it's a very Vegas-y act. We also were 2 of the younger people in the crowd. It was an older crowd. There were some kids there.
Yeah, there were a lot of younger, 20s people too.
And the one that got me was that they had a girl go up and count American change that she pulled. And I kept thinking, it's a good thing they didn't bring me up there, because American change...
They had 50-cent coins, and I don't know that I've seen those before.
I have. My mom was a cashier, and she used to bring home American money.
I have trouble mixing up their quarters and nickels, because if you do it really close, if you're trying to do it quick, they look really similar.
Although I don't know that there were nickels in that jar.
There was change though.
Yeah, but I don't think there were nickels. I think it was dimes, quarters, and half dollars.
But she counted it wrong.
Yep, she did. She counted it wrong. And
she messed up the 50
so her
cents
total was
and
supposed to
her
match
dimes.
what was supposed to match what was on the board, and the accuracy of crowds, I think it was called, something like that.
Yeah.
The wisdom of crowds, and it was supposed to be that the number they came up with on the board would match what she had counted out, but because she miscounted, they didn't quite match, and
She
so
miscounted twice.
So
they corrected
Penn,
her, and the other
Penn
one
had to
they
go
didn't.
over and correct her, and it just kind of took some of the oomph out of it.
Yeah,
that's why I was
really
worried about
kinda
the kid with
deflated
the cards.
The joke.
The kid with the cards, because
Then
he
he
was so
joked
nervous
about it later.
Yeah, he was so nervous. That kid, I felt bad. Because they've got a card trick that they do as well, which I have some theories about how that card trick works. But yeah, it was an entertaining show. It was great to see Penn and Teller. Teller spoke once. It's like a Silent Bob thing.
Yeah.
Where he's allowed to speak once. But that was a trick that didn't fool us.
Yeah.
That was a trick that we knew right away. And there was even the tell. And I'm not going to spoil it because I know there's people who may want to see it, and I don't want
But
to spoil it.
But they do different tricks. They don't.
They do, but
always
that one's
that
one's pretty elaborate. So I would think that one probably stays in. But there was one where it's kind of like the where's the rock, where's the ball, and we knew where in this case where Teller was. We didn't lose sight the whole time, and so and then there was kind of a tell where I think he would have had to. I think Teller's number was coming up, and so he's like, "You can go ahead and shuffle there." So there were a couple of little tells there, but it was a very well done show, very entertaining. Absolutely would recommend. It's done. I have now seen Penn and Teller. The other thing we did yesterday, we went to the MGM and
Grand
had their
MGM Grand.
Well, no, it's MGM Grand's the one next to us. And it was actually for the other MGM across the street. But it was. We went and had their buffet.
So the buffets 2 for 1 on the My Vegas.
The buffets in Vegas are pricey. So my recommendation to anybody who wants to go to a Vegas buffet: don't eat for a while before you go. Get your money's worth. Because it was $40 each, so thankfully it was a buy one get one.
It wouldn't be worth us for us to do a buffet at full price. Neither of us eat enough to be worth it. But if we're only paying for one of us, so for $40, it's not bad. We don't eat nearly enough. But we got a buy one get one on the My Vegas.
Park MGM. It's Park MGM that's over there.
Right.
But yeah, so
yes. Right.
With Park MGM's buffet, it was good. There was some good stuff there.
It was way better than the Excalibur one.
It was. The one thing is, you could use more salt, more seasoning, which is a critique that we always kind of joke about when we watch cooking shows together. Because I'll say they're going to talk about salt. There it is, talking about seasoning. But yeah, it could use some more of that. But it was good.
But
the turkey was very good.
People can add their own.
But the turkey was very good.
Fantastic. Turkey was great.
I had the scrambled eggs. They were good. They were scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs you really can't mess up. You cannot mess up scrambled eggs. And I'm sure you could get shells in there. I guess you could probably mix up scrambled eggs a little bit. I'm trying to think what else. The desserts were really good.
They were. I thought the corned beef hash was really good.
I didn't have that.
It was great.
And then we had to discuss corned beef in a can, which she didn't know was a thing.
I know it looked like beef spam.
She didn't know it was a thing. When I was a kid, that's what it was. Corned beef hash was you make your mashed potatoes and you open up your can of corned beef, you plunk her in there, you mix it up, you throw some butter on it. Well, no, it flakes off. It all flakes off. And you have flakes of beef and some butter and some mashed potatoes, and that's good eating.
See, and I make corned beef hash with leftover corned beef.
That's the lazy way of doing it. Get a can.
You do potato. I pass on that.
Apparently, I have to get a can of corned beef and show her.
I'd rather you didn't.
I have to show her that.
I don't think
you could have really good corned beef.
I don't. I think I'll pass on that.
So yeah, so we did that, and then, like I said, the Ross lineup was 45 minutes. Nothing in Vegas is short period of time, because again, you can look outside and go, hey, so that's right there. I could go right there, and like it's an hour before you actually get there. For instance, when we went to the Strat, I mean, I could see the Strat. It doesn't look like it's that far away, but then when you look, it's actually 5 miles. Take you about an hour and a half to walk there.
In 40 degrees heat.
And that's That's not taking into account the fact there's a lot of people. There are times where if you're going through a casino, you might end up getting confused as to where exactly you're at. You might go out the wrong door and go, this isn't the door I meant to go out. And too. Best case scenario, it's an hour and a half. It may end up being a lot longer than that. But yeah, so today's our last full day here. We have a couple of items coming up today that we're going to be enjoying. I'm looking forward to here at Bellagio, and I think that should be a fun show to watch. That'll be our one Cirque show for the trip. Yeah. And so it was a day yesterday that sometimes tried my patience. This does happen at times, but we had a good Uber driver to get back here.
Thank goodness.
He was great.
Yeah, he was great.
And we were back within minutes. It was a couple of minutes, and we were back. And he even said to us, he said, it's 2 roads. How can you get lost going from one to the Rio?
Big, glowing red building.
Yeah, it is. It's impossible. Like, the Rio is not on the Strip, so it's this giant red and blue building completely on its own. And it's in the middle of, there's not much else you can see. It's not far from Area 15 either, but it's just one of those things. I guess it's just a learning experience. You got to have that one Uber driver, because I've talked to people who've had those Uber experiences.
It was so frustrating. It took forever to get to us.
It was frustrating because we had plenty of time.
Yeah,
when the Uber was
40
called,
minutes ahead of time,
and then all of a sudden there wasn't that time. So yeah, frustrating experience there, but at least the show was good. And because it was an earlier show, we got back in a decent time. Yeah. It is just odd. There is no regular eating schedule for me in Vegas either. It's just sort of you wander around and then suddenly go, I'm hungry.
I haven't eaten.
I forgot to eat.
Hours.
So a lot of walking. We've done at least 40K.
We've been doing on
Probably
average
50.
about 15 kilometers a day.
Yeah, so we'd be up to about 60K already. Which is about 30 miles, approximately, give or take.
We're getting some exercise in.
So yeah, there's a lot of walking. So I don't have my treadmill here. I didn't pack that in my overhead or anything like that. But yeah, I don't really feel like I need it.
Or go to the gym here.
Well, we've got the spa here.
You don't go to the gym
here. We haven't taken advantage of the spa. We haven't gone to the pool. Because again, there's so much to do that we want to get done. And so we're getting it done. But anyways, so there you go. Our experience day 4. We will obviously do a video tomorrow morning on day 5, which would then be the final full day when we're here. And then it is off and home we go. Mm-hmm. And that should be an experience. So other than this hat, I don't really have a whole lot to show for my trip here in terms of stuff I'm taking home. Maybe that'll change today.
I was planning on getting souvenir-y stuff at one of the Vegas shops. The kiddos asked for some of the fun Vegas candies, and Adelaide loves the fun Vegas pens.
I always look for stuff with people's name on it, but it is hard to find. The names are always the same ones, and they're not quite right.
Luckily we had the awesome subscriber send us some stuff with our names and the kids' names on them. That's so fun. So we all have those, because all of us, other than Gabriel, we don't have names that are
I haven't even seen his. I haven't seen his while
probably
we've been
run
here.
out.
Yeah, I haven't seen
but the
Gabriel
rest of us,
while
our
we've been
names
here.
aren't on things.
And then so we'll be doing a lot today. But there you go. Hopefully this helps for anybody who's planning on coming down to Las Vegas, or coming up to Las Vegas, coming out to whichever direction you're coming from.
One thing, since we were talking about people coming and listening to this, we tried the little Aria tram, which we have never gone on before. It's a free little tram.
Yep.
That it kind of skips over.
Goes from Aria to Bellagio.
Aria Crystals to Bellagio, which is kind of nice, especially when it's really hot. It's air conditioned.
Yeah.
Just hop on there, and it's not super out of the way.
Yeah, that tram's
like
air conditioned.
monorail.
The tram to Treasure Island is not.
The little
air
the
conditioned.
little Mirage.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's not.
But that one's much shorter. It's just the one stop, but the Aria is 3 stops.
Yep.
And it's in a pretty convenient location, so
there you
just
go.
that
All right.
free little tram gets you a little bit further.
So hopefully everybody's doing well out there. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video. This channel's gained over 600 subscribers now in the last 30 days.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So TEG is finally paying his way a little bit. A little bit.
It's about time.
Kinda, sorta. Maybe he can move out and get his own place. Maybe it's time. All right. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.